in yourself and you can do anything, I swear. What? You shouldn't have to go to a skate park, do something you love, and get punished for it.
No BMX rider would ever even think that was possible.
That's what happens when you keep trying and don't give up!
Born in 1995 in Wodonga, Australia, Ryan's first ever encounter with the weird world of extreme sports would come from a DVD called Ultimate X, the movie. Young Ryan would sit there marveling at these people: Tony Hawk, Bob Burnquist, Travis Pastrana, Dave Mirra, Matt Hoffman, and many more.
Just from that moment, I was like, I want to be like these guys. And that's where my dream of becoming a gold medalist at X Games was born.
Basically, I watched that, and then all I had was rollerblades in the garage, and that was like the first thing I got and took down. It was like, oh, this is super fun, so I just kept doing it.
And whilst Ryan was flipping around like Spider-Man, he looked around and he noticed something. Every other single rollerblader was doing these big handrail grinds. It was kind of what rollerblading was back in the early 2000s.
It kind of like pushed me out of it a little bit, because then I realized that, oh, well, the way I like to ride isn't the way that rollerbladers really ride.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish.
By now it's the mid-2000s and times were changing, and the scooter wave was beginning to build, much to the distaste of every skater and BMXer on earth.
Holy shit.
All my mates rode scooters, and I was like, I want to learn with everybody else.
But I would have to borrow their shoes as well, so I'd have to find someone the same size feet as me in the scooter, because I wouldn't bring shoes to the skate park because I was rollerblading.
Eventually, Ryan would get his own scooter and a pair of shoes, and he started out on a cheap, foldable Mad Gear Pro scooter. This was the sort of thing you could get from your local supermarket. But on October 21st, 2007, Ryan would post his first ever scootering video called Klarna Minivid, which he had to edit and upload on his friend's computer who did have the internet. In this video, we could see Ryan, after just 2 or 3 years of scootering, already starting to do pretty insane stuff. But the thing is, scootering, in the world of action sports, it wasn't really respected. Before we go any further, this portion of the video is sponsored by Klarna. Klarna is a free Google Chrome extension that automatically applies coupons at the checkout when you're shopping on your favorite online stores. Klarna has partnered with over 250,000 merchants. It's very simple, you just shop like you normally would, and Klarna will automatically find and apply coupons and cashback rates at checkout. Klarna offers different payment options when shopping, so you can choose what is most beneficial to you. For instance, you can use Pay in 4. This basically splits the cost of your purchase into 4 interest-free payments. You've also got Pay in 30 days, so you can try what you've ordered, see if you like it, and decide if you want to keep it, all interest-free. And then finally, you have monthly financing. Klarna also has a very slick mobile app that allows you to log in, manage your account, track your purchases, use Pay in 4 anywhere, set price alerts on saved items, browse exclusive deals, and earn rewards on every purchase. So be sure to click the link in the description, or go to klarna.com/JimmyTheGiant to add Klarna from any device. Anyway, back to the video.
Skateboarders be like, why are you riding a scooter? You're not gonna get anywhere riding a scooter, dude. I'm like, well, I'm just having fun, man. I'm not really trying to get anywhere. I'm just trying to get to the skate park and do some stunts. But yeah, I got heaps of grief for that.
You don't like scooters? I don't think people should scoot. I just hope the future isn't scooting.
But despite all the hate and the pushback, the world of scootering was quietly leveling up. The OG scooter rider Terry Price landed the world's first double backflip on a scooter in 2007. This single moment blew the minds of the scootering world. But most importantly, it opened Ryan's mind to what was possible on a scooter. By 2009, after just 4 years of scootering, Ryan gets signed to his first ever scooter team, being Mad Gear Pro. And by now, Ryan had really leveled up. But Ryan's riding had a particular angle. Ryan loves a world's first. Like by 2011, he had already world's first the 720 backflip and the 540 flat. This sort of early 2010s period would become like a golden age in the world of scooting, and Ryan's life would very quickly change. He went from being the nerdy kid sat in the computer room at lunch to like flying around the world. Going on tour at these massive events where every kid in the park would know his name. And these tours would bring out the inner daredevil in Ryan. And all this would catch the eye of one company in particular. Nitro Circus.
Where'd you find this?
Now, Nitro Circus is like a traveling tour where they take a big mega ramp and just launch people down it on different things, and they do crazy stuff. And it was led by one of Ryan's very early idols, Travis Pastrana.
Step right up to the greatest action and sports show of all time.
You see, Nitro Circus were kind of sniffing around the scootering world for a little while, and they went to a company called Scooter Hut and asked them for the 3 craziest riders at the time. There was Mitch Baldry, Max Peters, and finally, Ryan Williams.
I'm 17 years old, and this ramp's friggin' 4 times bigger than anything I've ever ridden.
So you've never hit a mega ramp at this point?
No, nothing even close. They don't have practice ramps or anything, so they were basically like, yep, sign this waiver, hopefully you can make it. It was like, I remember my mate, Max Peters, he dropped in first, and he over-rotated a front flip, like didn't even touch his feet. He over-rotated all the way to his arm and like injured himself and couldn't even ride anymore. There's tricks that I can do on this ramp that you can't do anywhere else. So I was like, I want to do the world's first double front flip. I huck a double front flip, and I landed like 1 foot, and because it was wet, I like slipped over, and they were like, all right, sweet, you're in the show. And then in the show, I landed it.
But to ace that trick, it was like something happened. Like it was like the trajectory of my life just went, doo. Damn. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it.
Ryan lands the world's first double flare on a scooter. This instantly fired Ryan into like the spotlight. He became the one to watch in the world of scooting. But what's really interesting is tricks like the double flare were not only done on a scooter, they were also done before this point on a BMX.
You can do the same tricks, obviously just a different vehicle, but so I was doing tricks that I could do on a scooter that no one had never done on BMX.
And then they were saying, oh, you can only do them because they're on a scooter. And I was like, dude, some of these tricks will work on a BMX bike.
Ryan had always enjoyed BMX, but he never took it as serious as scooting. And so when Ryan would jump on a BMX, he would do it from the perspective of a scooter kid. And in 2013, he would become the world's first to land the front flip inwards on a BMX as a scooter kid. And despite how amazing this trick was, he would actually get some pushback from the world of BMX.
But then, yeah, some of them were like, oh, keep your scooter in the fucking scooter world or whatever.
It was like Ryan just couldn't win. Like whatever he did, people would find a way of writing it off. By the early to mid 2010s, Ryan's scooter career was popping. He was winning competitions, growing on YouTube, and then traveling on the weekends to do Nitro Circus, and then coming back to go to school on the Monday morning.
People got like a bit jealous and were like putting me down, and if someone was nice to me, they would tease that person. There was like a good period of my life for a year or two that I like would just ride with my headphones in and just like be by myself and just progress by myself.
It's always going to be there. Bullying's always going to be around. It's just, you just got to harden yourself. I got it so bad in school, like, and then I got it so bad at the skate park, and it like almost built this hard shell around my body that it was like, it bounces off me.
And he walks away with a gold medal.
This is how the X Games are done.
Since the very first time that Ryan ever saw that X Games DVD, there was one goal in life that stood out amongst the rest for Ryan: winning the X Games. However, there was one problem. Scooting is not a sport in the X Games, but BMX is.
Mr. Williams, RW, a newcomer, a rookie. He rides a scooter and he rides a bike.
He's riding this for the very first time here at X Games today.
Ryan was the underdog. You know, like everyone just watched him and was like, this is a scooter kid. What's he doing on a BMX? Like he was literally competing against the best BMX bikers on earth.
Here we go. Believe in yourself, let's do it.
Let's see if he mixes it up this time. He's going for that front right flip again, catching perfect. Stopping with his wheel, and he's going for the front flip flare! Oh, he was so close to landing that right there. We have never seen that.
But he fails to land the front flare properly and never scores a complete run. And on one of the attempts, he actually fractured his spine. However, this didn't really matter. He had left such an impression and had secured his spot at the 2018 X Games in his home country, in Sydney, Australia.
And we're setting off today's action with the BMX Big Air Final.
So Ryan drops in.
Games appearance. At his first X Games appearance, he did quite a few tricks, but was unable to complete a solid run. And here he goes for that front flip flare. Nails it! That's the first time he's ever pulled that.
Now, tell me the truth, was that the first time you've done that in competition?
That's the first time I've done that ever.
And he nails the run that he couldn't land in the previous X Games. And on his last run, he does another scooter trick on a BMX, the front flip, front bri flip. He scuffs the landing a little bit, but it didn't matter. He had done enough to win his first ever gold at the X Games. The entire audience was stunned. A scooter kid from Australia had outperformed professional BMXers and took gold. Ryan comes back next year to the Shanghai X Games and takes gold after perfectly landing the front flip, front bri flip into an inward front. And Ryan had put himself in the very small list of people to win 2 golds consecutively at the X Games. But you see, there was a kind of curse. No one had ever won 3 consecutive golds at the X Games. And so in 2019, Ryan returns to the X Games in Minneapolis, the same place where he fractured his spine.
Time just kept repeating itself. I think like 5 people before me had won it twice, and then they lost this the third time.
The pressure was on. Ryan sets up for his first run, and he turns to the camera, and he dedicates his run to the legendary Dave MIRRA, who had sadly passed away.
Miracle boy, Dave MIRRA, let's go! And you're hearing it right now. What is it?
And I knew that I had to do something that like had never been done before. I had to send it, like I wasn't holding back.
Oh, backflip, and he lands this one! Ryan Williams going for a little bit of history! Straight to the nothing front bike flip, Uncle Lee, this is serious! Here's the quarter pipe!
For a second, I'm like, am I out? As I'm coming down, I look, okay, now I'm coming in, I'm not hitting the top of the ramp, I'm coming in smooth.
And he lands the front flip flare as well, are you kidding me?
The competition ends and Ryan wins gold, becoming the only person in the history of the X Games to win 3 consecutive golds. And from here, Ryan truly ascended into like stardom in the world of action sports and beyond it. Ryan has since given his mother the first home that he ever purchased, and then bought a second home which he has called Our Willy Land, where he has built his own mega ramp with the intention of being able to spread opportunities to more and more people, to attempt these big tricks and push action sports as far as they possibly can.
Yeah. So it's like you can pave your own path. It doesn't matter if the path isn't there yet. I'm so stoked to be riding a scooter, and I literally am here because I didn't listen to the person that told me that I couldn't do anything riding a scooter.
Right.
You know, if I listen to that person go, mate, you're not going to do anything riding a scooter, or the thousands of people that told me that actually, if I listened to even one of those people, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Right.
So stoked with my life. So it's like, I just want to inspire people to just keep pushing on and believing in whatever you're doing. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the sponsored link, sponsor me on Patreon, and check out this video right here.